In my entire life, I think I've been hit on maybe 2 or 3 times by a black man. In general, my pancake ass is not appealing to most of them. I don't have hips. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Not Your Asian Women podcast. I'm Christine Chang.
I'm Shining.
We're going to talk about some topics that our listeners requested that we talk about. Some men have said, why do you guys always talk about white guys? You know, there's other race. The thing is, our podcast name, Not Your Asian Women, actually, Shining came up with it. Do you want to explain how you came up with the name?
Well, because we are the Asian women with white man gang. And one thing we get it every day on our post is, oh, you're a white worshiper.
We get a lot of haters.
And oh, you're one of those. You only date like white men, or stupid comments like that. So we came up with this concept of, we're not your Asian women.
I wasn't aware I belonged to anyone and that I'm supposed to date.
Exactly. And all the minority men, the fuck, you date white women for trophy. Indian men. Yo, Indian men are thirsty for white women. Ain't nobody talking shit about them. Shit.
I think it's all projecting, right? Whenever someone hates on you, they say like, you just do it for the trophy. Or I'm not denying that there's underlying reasons why someone might find certain ethnicities or races attractive, but at the same time, I know me. And the thing is, I hate when people are like, I know you. I know why you did that. I'm like, you don't know me. What the fuck do you know? Me growing up in the States, I mean, I grew up in white suburbia. I was one of maybe 2 Asians in my class. So I'm naturally around Caucasian people more. And honestly, if you ask me to think aesthetically what my dream guy would look like, it actually wouldn't be a white guy. It just happened that the person I met, the timing, the values, that my husband Pete happens to be white. The dream guy, if you were asking me to think, I would think it would be more maybe like Latino, because it'd be a little darker skin, tan skin, brown hair, brown eyes. That would be
Jesus.
Yeah, kind of.
Jesus is the ultimate male model.
So we're going to talk more about other races. We get questions like, have you ever dated anyone who's not white? Yes, if you listen to previous episodes, you will know, yes.
And none of your business.
And authors are, why the fuck do you care? But this is a fun topic to talk about. And actually, you have a lot of followers who are black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I kind of grew up in the South. I lived in Atlanta for 10 plus years. You know anything about Atlanta? I did date a few black guys. Back in the day, overall, I don't think I am their choice.
Yes.
Because they like, yeah, I'm built like an A4. Look at me. I got nothing.
That's the thing.
Y'all asking questions like, are you a titty or you're an ass man? Y'all.
That's the thing. Because I've been asked too, like, have you ever dated a black guy? In my entire life, I think I've been hit on maybe 2 or 3 times by a black man. In general, maybe it's different now, and maybe it's different as you get older, but I don't have the body type. My pancake ass is not appealing to most of them. I don't have hips, and most men are the physical, I'm just not their type. And now that I'm getting older, and I think men, they might value more like mental or intellectual, I could see that more of them, like I can connect with them. It actually doesn't really matter what you look like, as long as the values are in place. I personally am open to it. Yeah. I'm open to whoever, as long as our values match.
We talked about it. It doesn't matter. You could fucking miss an eyeball. You can miss a limb. But if you're like a real man, if you have the characters that I love, I don't care. You could be a 3rd-degree burn victim. I'd suck that dick. It doesn't matter what you
visual.
look like. Exactly.
The visual to me. But truly, I don't know, with the assumptions, some people are just like, get over it. Everyone makes assumptions, but I just don't see what the big deal is. Maybe share some of the stories of when you went out with.
Oh yeah, cause the way I talk, and then people would say, "Oh, she grew up in the hood." No, it's just I learned English in the South. That's just what happened. When I went to school there, I did have a lot of black friends, and then I definitely subconsciously learned English that way, and we talk shit, and then kind of insult each other a little bit. That's just the way we talk. Like they will say shit like, "Go eat a burger, girl. you got you need some ass. Go eat a burger." and and naturally, I think, and yeah, because I grew up. Yeah, I grew up in China, and then my family is I think I rebelled against it because my grandparents, the way I was raised, and my dad too, always say, "Oh, you need to be a ladylike, the way your table manner." And then they just went too strict on me, and I went to the opposite.
That's what happens. If you're too suffocating, that is what happens.
It's like the Catholic girls, they're all hoes, you know what I'm saying. It's like that, similar effect. They went a little too nuts with me. My curfew was 5 p.m.
Oh my God.
I couldn't even spend a night at cousin's place. No overnight sleepovers at all. So the minute I went to Atlanta,
Peace out.
I know. I just rebelled against it. I cursing, smoking, all that, strip clubs. I hated it. What the fuck was ladylike? I don't know that concept. And I was always like pretty tomboyish. I always hang out with like boys, and do some stupid shit like, "Yo, let's go dig up some graves. Let's go to the graveyard."
Did you actually do that?
No. and I guess that in me, I don't know how to act like proper lady.
You don't. You do.
I could,
you just don't want to.
Yeah, I just don't. It's not the real me. I could put on an act to fit in if I need to, because there are situations you can't be acting too ratchet.
You do know, because I think your dad was a businessman, so you do know. Because I can tell the difference between someone who knows how to do that and someone who doesn't, and you do know how to do that. Yeah. I would feel confident bringing you if I had some sort of meeting where we had to be quote unquote proper. I'm confident that you would know what to do. I actually have some friends who I might not refer them for work for certain things, not because I don't want to support them, but I just know I'm like, this isn't a fit. Maybe they're too extrovert and too loud and almost like they like attention, which you do too.
Yeah.
However, there
are times and place.
There's times and place for that. And if you're around a lot of wealthy people, the way that they how they are when they're together. You're not that loud person. They don't want the attention on them. It's very quiet. So you need to know how to do that if you want to be working in that circle.
Yeah, you're right about that. Cause my dad had to drag me to some of his parties and stuff, and I think I model after my mom. She can be very funny, ratchet, dirty.
Oh, interesting. She's the edgy one.
Yeah, but then when we're out with my dad and certain things, then it's a game for us. That me and my mom were really close, like besties, it's almost like a game for us. We'd like talk shit in private. Like, yo, look at this. Yo, who is this chick? Is it the same one that he brought last time? So we're like gossip and stuff. But that's, yeah. In that way, I do know there's time and place for it. And also, I think it's culture. When you're in a room and then everybody is, I don't know, like this thing happening, you don't want to stand out too much. You want to fit in, and you don't want to cause inconvenience, because that shame I can't deal with. So it's more or less of that.
Shame
Yeah,
is very effective.
Yeah. In Asian culture, yeah, it's a shame. It's like,
Right? Shame and guilt.
oh yeah, that's our main drive to not act crazy.
I actually think, I mean, when it's to the extreme, it's not healthy. But I do think a little bit of shame and guilt, I feel like we should bring a little bit of it back. Some of the kids, the way they're
Bring
being,
back beating up your kids too.
it's just consequences and repercussions. People are unhinged these days. They get shocked when someone actually tries to correct them. Like I said, like, what? Like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't talk to everyone like that. You can talk to your mom like that. I can't stand when people don't have discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of them.
I mean, or just thinking the world revolves around you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, white woman, I'm talking about you.
I
Bill Burr does the perfect bit. You know who Bill Burr
Yeah.
is? Oh, Lord. He does a perfect bit on white women. It's so funny.
What did he say?
Oh, the specifics. Not really. I don't remember. I have ADHD.
Okay. Well, you didn't share the stories of you dating the black guys. And
Oh,
anything
yeah. Well,
memorable?
in ESL class, English as second language, when I first came to Atlanta, he's not black American. He's from France, and we met in that class. It didn't work out was because he forced me to pay his stuff.
Forced you?
Yeah, we were in a library study, and then him and his buddy said something about, oh, let's go take a break. And I was like, okay, taking a break. And then we went to this like really great shopping mall. I don't remember where that, it doesn't matter. And then so I was shopping and checking out, and then they just throw a couple of pants that they picked on the checkout counter, and they acted like, okay, so it's, you pay.
What made them think that you would pay for it?
I don't know. I now thinking back, it wasn't that they had interest in me or wanted to date me, go out with me. It wasn't genuine. They probably just like a game, like, oh, see, like if this chick would pay for us or something like that.
You didn't do anything that would make them believe that you might?
No.
Do it? Okay.
I'm not retarded. Why would I pay for it?
But in previous episodes, you have said that you had spent money on men before.
Oh, yeah, once we start dating, yeah. Once we start
Okay.
dating, yeah. But
Okay.
I have, that's true. But in that incident, no.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that ended it pretty badly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was some other,
Well, you're young. Right?
yeah,
What is it, teens or 20?
late teens.
Okay.
Grown though. We're all like 18 or something like that. And then there were some other cases that were in college, but more or less we just went on like a couple of dates. We talked on the phone, but it didn't go nowhere. It wasn't because like anything personal. It just it is naturally like you don't click. There's no like chemistry there, where you don't feel certain way towards that, but you want to try and give a chance. That didn't really happen. But from my experience, okay, I don't want to generalize. Okay, so calm your titties. For from the limited dating experience I've had with black guys that I had experience with, they didn't want to pay, either like going out for the dinner or movie, and that would end my interest right there. I don't mind paying. Like I said before, I paid my husband's credit card debt. But when it's dating, like you ask me out and you gonna sit there like, okay, you now bitch, you pay. With that attitude, no. I'm it doesn't matter the skin color or whatever, or how good looking you are. If you gonna act like that, no. I don't think any right-minded woman would go on date again with you. Like, who do you think you are? Like, are you Lord, you're not some like a rapper or producer. Like, if I want something, if I understand, if someone wants something out from you, you have something to offer, they'll pay for you. But you're broke. We don't even speak English well. We were in English as second language class. And then I thought that was a pretty bad experience.
Strong Coffee Company, what do you think?
This is perfect for lazy bitches like me. You can just pour the powders in and put hot water. You wouldn't believe it. My eyes was smaller than this. But after that, I'm awake.
Use code.
Oh, yeah.
What's our code? Not Your Asian Women at checkout for a nice little discount.
Enjoy your new crack.
The couple times that I remember, the first guy, I mean, this was in high school. He just wanted to have sex. Like, so automatically, I was like, no, I just stopped picking up the phone. I was like, it felt like predatory. I'm like, yeah, no. And then the other one was, and it doesn't matter who this person was, I can't stand when this is done to me. You know, when they show interest, but then the way they look at you is so piercing, and so like it almost feels like it gives me no space, like almost like an over eagerness that he couldn't read how I felt about it. You know, you kind of like play ping pong, you know, he couldn't read. It was just so heavy that it automatically makes me retreat when any guy does that. So I just said I wasn't interested. And those are the only two times I honestly remember being hit on by black guys. Asian guys, on the other hand, because we've been asked that before too, because they automatically assume you hate yourself. You hate Asian men. I've dated a lot of Asian men for a certain stint, like high school through my mid-20s. I think that's all I dated was Asian guys. Honestly, I'm more on values and energy than whatever you look like. And my experience with the Asian guys were actually great. I liked them.
Mine was not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Mine was not.
We have very different experiences. I will say the guy that I've had the most, what would you call it? Like a soul connection where you can hear each other's thoughts. Have you ever dated someone like that? Where they know what you need and they know almost what you're thinking without you having to say anything?
Not really. I'm too neurotic. I've never run into anyone that knows me. Like,
no, where they could feel, you just feel each other and you can just anticipate each other's needs.
My husband.
Without having to say anything. Even when you just first met, without saying anything, he didn't have to learn much about you.
Yeah. There was one time. Yeah.
Well, that's natural. That in general, you do have to learn to get to know someone. Even with this soul connection that I have, like over time, you get to know someone more. But there was something spiritual about it where we could like communicate. Like the brain waves were just like that. And it was a Filipino guy. However, it didn't work out because he didn't have any integrity. So
fuck that brainwave length. God damn.
So again, it goes to core values, and maybe that's what it's kind of shaped me to focus more on values and things like that, because those things are required, I think, to have a healthy long-term functioning relationship. To me,
True.
if you don't have integrity, which is my core value, this is not going to work. No matter how much connection we have, it's not going to work.
Yeah. My experience with Asian guys, well, Chinese guys that came from China, because Asian Americans are different than immigrants. And mine was like really bad experience. I really liked him, and I initiated first move because I felt like there was some, and then he didn't even have the balls to reject me or tell this to my face. He told our mutual friend, he said, "Oh, Shining had dated white guys before. I can't date her." And they told me about it. Oh my God, I was like, God damn. I feel so gross to even have feelings for this
Yeah.
trash. Just what's wrong with him? Just
Wait,
like,
he was immigrant or
yeah,
or-
yeah.
wait, where did he live?
And currently now in China.
Okay, but at the
He
time
went-
you guys were
yeah,
students
yeah.
in the US.
Yeah. And then he went. There were a couple of them like that, and they moved. Most immigrant students, they came here to study and then they go back to China though, because they have inheritance from their parents and they have to go back to. Yeah, most of them from at least my circle, most of them don't stay here, and so there's that. Like if your life goal doesn't align, it's like, oh, this is just a fling for like this whole school time, then why would I invest that much of a commitment into you if our life goals aren't even the same? And that's that too. And then also I date some Asian Americans too, but Korean American to be specific, but they came off as very, okay, again, I'm not generalizing all Korean Americans. Calm your titties. Just from the limited experience I had. Okay, it's me, all right? I'm the common denominator. I'm the problem. I just have eyes for trash, I guess. I had eyes for trash. Anyways, they came off as very controlling. They would criticize the way I dress. Like, I have friends that are straight men. They would make some funny remarks like that, and I didn't like. And it's giving really controlling vibe. Like, I don't like to use this term, toxic masculinity, but in that case, it was like that. So that turns me off completely. We're the same. We need freedom. Yeah. We can't be told, oh, you can't go out like that. Why are you dressing like a whore? There are men, like East Asian men, that would say shit like that, and then or like control the type of friends you have. Like, oh, you can't be friends with that person or something like that. No. So that already eliminates, I don't know, 5 billion of them.
Well, there is truth in the cultural, because if you're raised traditionally Asian in general, you are taught to care what other people think, and you're part of a group. It's not about you, and there's shame and things like that. What are they going to think? So they do care. So maybe that causes them to want to control how their partner is a reflection of them. Yeah, because I value freedom too. That's very difficult for me if someone is controlling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not fake, so I can't pretend. You know, if I had in-laws that wanted to, my in-laws are cool as fuck, by the way, but if I had in-laws that tried to shame me because I couldn't go to a dinner or, something like that, I don't think that would work for me. Or I think if
So
My
no
part-
Asians, no blacks, no Mexicans.
We're very critical. We're very critical. Yeah, I mean, I think if my partner was on my side and was just like, you know, I get it, da da da, da, I'm like, fine, I don't give a fuck if your parents like me or not. Just don't make me like, I'm not gonna subject myself to be abused by them. You know, maybe we won't have a relationship or a close relationship, but then it is what it is. But I know that doesn't work for me. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love my in laws and I love Pete. They're not judgmental. It's fine. They understand if someone doesn't feel well. We went on a cruise to Antarctica last year, and his parents, you know, it's not like you have to be at dinner every night, so we have dinner together. Oh,
Thank the Lord
right?
for
Like,
white in-laws.
like, oh, you're tired. Like, we'll see you tomorrow. Completely understanding, which I think that's how it should be. Why do you want to force people to come together when over the span of any long-term relationships, people are going to feel off sometimes, or maybe they're just like not in a great mood. It doesn't mean you're not important. It doesn't mean, I don't know what they make of it. Like it's rude, it's disrespectful. And it just, I'm like, it has nothing to do with you. And I understand if someone's not feeling well. I would never make someone come to something if they weren't feeling well, or even if they just didn't want to come. Why would I want you there? I totally understand. I don't want to go to everything I'm invited to. I don't want to go to your kid's recital. I don't want to go to your kid's birthday party. And most of my friends are cool about it. They understand, like, you don't have kids, or there's usually when you go to those things, maybe your kids are socializing, but otherwise they're like, why would I want to be here? And it's not personal.
Yeah. So culturally, we write off a whole lot of people.
Yeah,
we're
if it's more traditional. Then
yeah, I'm not gonna say all Chinese, but for all the Chinese parents generations that I know, if your daughter-in-law gonna pull off shit like that, oh, you never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
They'll give you shit and then shame you, or even the wealthier ones, they'll make passive aggressive comments.
Yes.
Like, oh, we all dressed up and went this. Oh, we missed you. You didn't show up there. You know, something like that. Oh, Lord. Oh, my dad was trying to fix me up with one of his friends' son. You know, like only child policy, especially with families that are wealthy with one son. God damn. So I said, okay, I agreed to go to dinner. And we all went to dinner, my parents and him, and then his parents. And this fool, he said, listen, Shining, we have 3 properties in Beijing, 2 properties in Shanghai. If you want to date me, you'd have to give up life in America. I looked at him dead in the eyes and like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not worthy of you. I'm not worthy of you. And then he said, yeah. He nodded. He nodded.
Okay, we gave it a try.
Yeah. And after that was the last time my dad tried to fix me up with some shit.
How old were you?
20.
Early 20s?
Early 20s. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember.
Wow, the fact that you even agreed to it. I would never agree to someone my parents wanted to set me up with. I do not trust their taste.
Yeah, my dad would give me shit, and also he paid for me, so you kind of have to agree. I might need a new car. Anyways, yes. And that was the last time. I thank God that happened, because I could give my dad so much shit about it, and he agreed will never set me up again. That, I mean, I talk shit about him, but he knows what a good guy is for me. It doesn't matter how much money. I mean, I get it. He's my father. He wants me to have good life. And to a man, to his perspective, a good life to a woman or to his daughter should be not worry about money at all, like material things. That's his surface level of what a good life is. So he tried to set me up with that. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, with Brad, he really likes him. He knows that's a good man for me.
That's good. I think most parents, they just want you to be happy. Like, same
Yeah.
with my parents. Like, I just want to see them happy. You know, it makes me sad if they aren't. So, like, do what makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone, hurting yourself. But yeah, I think parents deep down, if they truly love you and don't make it about them, they can tell when you're genuinely happy, right?
Yeah, true. And I'd rather be happy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if he's just too poor, too broke, no motivation, and like trying to like Uber gigs, we might not get married. It's too much of a discrepancy in socioeconomic class. That's just like a fact. It's that
Well, it's values.
Yeah,
That is
values just don't gonna work. But the underlying value of what integrity is, what a good ethical person is, if that bare minimum of understanding is the same, then we can work from that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Totally. But the socioeconomic, I think it helps in ease because it's a big part of values. Pete and I grew up very similarly socioeconomically. When I visited his hometown in New Jersey for the first time, I said, this looks like where I grew up, except I grew up in California, you know, on the West Coast. And his family values, his parents they're white, but they're immigrant. His mom came over when she was 3, but the mentality is with work ethic and all that.
So okay, good side of Jersey.
Not the shore. Yeah, it's Polish. They're Polish and Scottish. Yeah, the value. So there is ease there, and I think back on the guys I've dated where it was socioeconomically where we were raised more similarly. There was just a certain ease there where you didn't have to explain things. I've dated guys who were raised or grew up poor, and the mentality's different. You just see the world differently. I'm not saying one way's better than the other. You're just constantly explaining yourself to each other. And I just didn't find ease there. And I realized after a while, one of my values or what I look for in relationships is ease. And I get things come up in any relationship where you're going to have to tackle disagreements and things like that. But the way that you communicate and see the world, to me, I want it to be close enough. Like you said, the discrepancy can't be too far where you're constantly being like, what do you mean by that? I hate fucking explaining myself all the time. It's exhausting. So I don't gravitate towards that kind of relationship where I feel like it's not an easy conversation.
Yeah, true. With friendship too.
Yeah.
You can't, because the way you spend money is different. Your taste.
You'll know quick who you travel with.
Yeah.
How you guys live life.
Yeah. But this, I really appreciate this trait my dad has. He has all kinds of friends from all walk of earth. What's that? Walk of life? I don't know the term for it.
I think it's walk of life.
Yeah, he has friends from all walk of life, and just regular blue class friends that he went to school with, and then his business partners. He has different style of vacation trips. So if he knows he's going on vacation with his homies from, when they were all nobody, and he would accommodate, would not say which hotel were picked or something. He will let people make arrangement, and then he would just participate. And that I knew from my mom, because she was like, oh God, I love these dudes, but never again. Like these mattresses, like these beds, and then these like motel places. I see bugs. I'm too old to deal with this. But when he's going on vacations with people who can afford better, then it's more comfortable. But yeah, it's the way he teaches me is like, it's you can accommodate as long as you're having a great time. It's the friends you have, they all have different this comes off negative, but not different use, but they're friends that can bring different values.
You can learn a lot. It's actually good to hang out with people who are different.
Exactly. And people that can humble you, people that you don't have to think before you speak. Just talking shit, having a great time. You need those people. But do you want to have a business with them? No, hell no. There are certain people you just know you can't. They're not. Not to say that they're bad. It just their upbringing wasn't taught of how to handle money, how to have a business mindset, how to seek for opportunities like that. It's not their fault. It's just the way it is. And when you want to have a business partner, you want to work with people who are smarter than you. But these are a double-edged sword too. If people that are smarter than you, and you got to be careful that there might not be loyalty in there. They might want to get stuff done and then leave you hanging or throw you under the bus. There could be lack of ethics and integrity there too, because he had some bad friends like that, where like his business almost went under because of it. Mm-hmm. So you can never, the people who have different strength. That's what I was like saying earlier. They're shining things in everybody.
Yes.
If everyone is given the opportunity, maximizing their strength, society would be a whole lot better,
Yeah, I agree. I think it is a good skill to be able to hang out with different types of people. I think for core friend group, though, because you spend so much time with them, I honestly find it so exhausting if there's not that natural flow. I find it exhausting. And being an adult now, making new friends, my capacity is a lot smaller of who I want to invest in to have close in my life.
Yeah. I think for us, integrity, also can this person be accountable and self-aware, and you can discuss professionally with disagreements without being
like too emotional about it. And it's okay to have emotions, absolutely. But I think being the responsibility of regulating them, or if you have a blow up moment, afterwards apologize, saying like, sorry, I was just so fucking pissed,
Accountability is so key. I can't deal with people that just always blame. Yeah, so I don't want to generalize, but they do say like the poor mentality or rich mentality. This documentary that was done in UK, I don't remember. I could shout them out if I did, but in general, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that book too, it's that mentality of, okay, now do I want to waste the energy to blame society, blame parents, blame friends, blame people for the situation I'm in, or accept the cards I'm dealt with and try to live the best out of it and seek for opportunities. And that already separates the 1%. Like you have your attitude towards life and how you want to make yourself climb out of your situation. It's easier to I get it too. It's easier to be said that we are born in a very fortunate situation. If I was born in a really bad neighborhood, I can't say. I might be different. Obviously, I might have a different mentality. It'd be easier for me to say shit like that than really live in the situation. But still, you don't want to waste your energy into, oh, I want to, fuck these people, fuck that people, it's everybody's fault, and then just be sour about it, or invest that energy into something productive. I just said a whole bunch of shit.
No, I hear you. Being productive and effective, I guess it's just more logic, and not everyone's logical. Some are just really emotional. I think because I sound like, is this virtue signaling or contempt? I'm not thinking I'm better than people, but I'm really into personal growth and healing. I think everyone has healing to do. And because I spent so many years, I spent over a decade, and it's forever, right? You continuously have to do the work on yourself, that it makes me less tolerant of someone who isn't willing to do that work, or like if they're at the beginning stages and they express interest and are doing things to open up and heal and do all things, then yes. But I just feel like if a person is overall pretty unhealed and hasn't tackled that yet, my capacity is very low for that, because I'm like, okay, that's your job to fix that. I don't know what the solution is. Different things work for different people, but you have to be willing to do it. And all my friends, my closest friends, and actually we are pretty different. We grew up differently, but one of the common threads is that interpersonal growth, self-responsibility, a desire for self-awareness, and they do the work. And we're so different from how we were in high school or college. I really, really value that. So yeah, they say there's like studies that say once you've done the work, it can cause you to be less empathetic for people who aren't there yet, because you're just like, I did it, like what's the big deal, you can do this, right? So I find myself kind of having that sometimes. I know it's not easy, like deep diving, into the darkest places, shadow work, whatever they call it. It's not easy sometimes, having the difficult conversations with your parents or whoever you need to have the conversations with. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's just, if you want to feel free, I like freedom from this stuff, and maybe their life works for them. I'm like, okay, if being reactive works for you, and then go hang out with the people who are okay with that. I personally am not okay with that. It's not pleasant for me to be around.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's more like now I've done the work, and then looking at people that have not. I do have empathy, but it does help to take it less seriously, because when I wasn't healed, when somebody said something or my friend said something, I would take it negatively or too personally. Now that I have done the work, and I see people, oh, she's acting like this because she's insecure right now. She's projecting her feelings onto me. Mm-hmm. And so it helps me to be more empathetic for that reason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if it, then I know, okay, there's you can't help everybody. They have to do their own work, self-help work. So you have to like distance yourself from that negative energy, and say, oh, okay, I'm gonna step out of the situation, not gonna engage with you, because clearly you got some shit going on you need to deal with. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I have like empathy in that sense.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. It's difficult to be in that position too. I feel kind of sad when I see someone incapable of taking responsibility, because that's a really hard life to live. I'll just give you a really silly surface level example. This is when we were living in Venice Beach, and I'm walking my dog in front of our house, about to go up, and there's a guy, he's probably in his mid 20s, and he has a pit bull that is off leash. And my dog's a small 15-pound dog. I walk like I'm going up to the house, and then his pit bull turns around and starts charging us. And he says, "Oh shit," running after his dog. And his dog, of course, goes after mine. And I have to use my leg to kick it off. And then we're trying to get him off. That could be super dangerous, right? One bite in the wrong place and your dog's dead. And of course, I'm rightfully like pissed.
Oh yeah, I'd be
And
too.
his response, he's like, "I didn't see you there." And I'm like, if your dog, if you know it does things like that, one, it should not be off leash. He couldn't take responsibility. Like, shit, sorry, I should have had it on leash. You know, it was just like blaming me. Like, I didn't see you. Like, I was turned around. I was like, what the fuck? Your dog attacked mine. But I felt kind of bad for him. I'm like, damn, maybe he'll learn it as he gets older. I'm like, he cannot take responsibility for himself. That sucks. And you wonder what else happens in life where he's not able to do that. It's not, I feel it's very empowering when you are able to take responsibility. It's a freedom.
Sure, yeah. I bet he's lonely.
I mean,
How is anybody spend time with that type of person?
that's what I think, because sometimes I have felt guilty in the past, like, oh, should I be more empathetic to this person and give them a chance? But then I look at the relationships in their life, and they don't have any long-term friends or close friends. Who's the common denominator? It's them. And is it my job to be that person, like, okay, I'm going to be different and I'm going to give you a chance? Or I'm like, or are you doing something that other people don't tolerate or they don't like being around? That's a you thing.
Yeah, yeah. Accountability, for sure. The saying in Chinese, 可怜之人必有可恨之处, meaning if you feel sorry for this person, he must have done something to put himself in that situation a little bit too.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
responsibility. And it's maybe because I spent a few years being the fixer when I was dating. I found my value and like, oh, let me try to help you. And I learned my lesson pretty fast. You know, I'm not helping anyone. If they don't want to change, if they don't want to heal or do the work, forget it. You know,
Yeah.
so maybe I've swung the other way, that I'm just like, nope, unless you come up and ask and you're sincere that you want to make changes in your life, I'm not saying shit. I usually, because value freedom, I just want to see who you are and what you want to do. I want to see what you actually want to do without me nudging you like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Like, no, if you want to stay there, you could stay there. I probably just maybe don't want to hang out with you, or don't want to hang out with you as much.
Believe it or not, most people don't want to get helped.
Yeah.
I mean, a
it's
lot
easier
of
to
people,
stay.
a lot of people.
It feels
don't wanna
easier
get-
to stay where you are.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
feel that the initial work is hard. But once you get through it, you're just like, why the fuck did I do that sooner?
Yeah. The first step is to, the bros talk about ego death a lot. It really be like that. You'd have to
You have to let go of who you
kill
are.
that part. Yeah. Yeah. And it had served you well, protected you, whatever fight or flight nerve system you had to
Survival.
survival mode you have to go through. But to a point where like it won't help you anymore. It will cause trouble. People around you who love you, you hurt them. So first step is to accept that you have something to do with your situation too. And then you have power over it, and then you can say, okay, then I can correct it then. But if you just blame everybody else, then you give everyone else or the environment, whatever, the power to have control over you. Then you will feel powerless or helpless, and then you either act out because of insecurity, or you just shrivel up and then you want to die. And either way, it's actually the same, to be honest. Yeah, the one that are like, I'm all the shit. You know, I'm all good, or this and that is this is actually insecurity driven.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, it's funny we're talking about this because there's been a shift in me where I think like after the pandemic and stuff, I've really kind of hardened a bit. And I mean, there's aspects of it that I think are entertaining. I think I'm funnier actually when I have those edges. But actually, it was when I was reflecting and thinking of like my New Year's resolutions or things I'd want to change. You know, I do want to be less judgmental and more curious and understanding with people. And that also comes with letting go of my current humor. It does. And part of it I'm hanging on to because I like those edges. It's familiar to me from the way my mom's humor, my sister's humor. I don't know. I'm like, but I like it. But at the same time, I'm happier when I'm more understanding and more curious and less judgmental, actually. And so that's something that those are a few words I wrote down when I was writing out some intentions for 2024 that I'd like to be more and like just softer and kinder. Because there's parts of me that like, I think I'd be a nice person, but it's my own shit. It's my own shit. But it's come up with me, and I'm aware that my humor is going to change with letting that go.
Yeah.
So this podcast might turn boring. I might turn boring. Boring on this podcast.
Yeah. What was he talking about? What was this podcast about again?
Well, initially
Dating.
it was really dating outside
Full
of
circle.
our
So we can end it with, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You need to have at least self-awareness, accountability, willing to do the work on yourself. Then you're very dateable.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what the comments says.
The comments are the funniest.
Yeah.
Well, one day we need to read off some of the comments.
Oh,
They're so good.
yeah. Like the late night show
Oh, yeah, it's
style.
mean.
Where
Was it
memes and then
mean
you
tweets?
roast. Yeah, mean tweets. Yeah.
It's so funny.